All right. So, it's Trump and the G, of course, and the Shock Exchange, and you know what we do here. Today we're going to talk a little bit about sports. We talk about things important to the economy and things important to the black community. And today, Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns are important to the black community. I'm sure all of Black America was watching that game last night. Probably the most watched one of the most watched preseason games in history. And I'm sure the Cleveland Browns are going to be the most watched, one of the most watched, if not the most watched team in the country this year. Everybody's going to be watching Shedeur Sanders and see how the drama plays out, see how he plays, or if he even plays, given the battle with Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Joe Flacco. So there's been a lot of drama, and drama sells. Controversy sells, and there's been a lot of controversy surrounding Shedeur Sanders and Cleveland Browns. As everybody, I'm sure you know, Shedeur dropped to the 5th round in the NFL draft this year, which was a surprise. He was expected to go in on the 1st round. And every year, there's always some type of drama surrounding a pick who falls precipitously for no reason. And every year, the NFL makes an example of somebody, some player, usually somebody black. We saw this with Louis Oliver, former safety from the Florida Gators, who fell in the draft, fell to the late 1st round. He was the top safety in the country coming out of college. Warren Sapp, he fell in the 1st round, late in the 1st round. Cost him a lot of money. Cost the guys a lot of money. Randy Moss fell late to the 1st round. He's the best wide receiver in the country coming out of college, and one of the top finalists for the Heisman. Cost those guys a lot of money when they fall like that. And Shedeur Sanders fell to the 5th round, and we just waiting. It was like, this couldn't be football related because the guy was clearly one of the top quarterbacks in the country. And I watched just about every game Colorado played. And the thing about Shedeur is that he's very accurate, and that type of accuracy translates to every level: high school, college, and the NFL. I always knew he was going to be a good pro, but the fall to the 5th round was crazy. I think Cam Ward was the first player drafted at quarterback. Then you had Jackson Dart went to the Giants. Alex Shaw from Louisville went to the Saints. Dylan Gabriel was drafted in the 3rd round ahead of Shedeur. Cleveland Browns picked up Shedeur almost if out of sympathy or something. Like, okay, got this guy hanging around, why don't we just draft him? Guess it's choice between Shedeur and a punter and maybe special teams player or something. Just as we get him, he's still available. So, but anyway, so now we're finally here. Now it's game time, and Shedeur started last night for the Cleveland Browns against the Carolina Panthers, and he showed up and showed out. He looked just like the Shedeur from college. Had total command for the offense. Very good pocket presence. And when he wears those orange jerseys, I've seen him in practice with the orange jerseys. It's hard not to mistake him for Doug Williams. I'm not saying he's Doug Williams, but it's hard not to mistake him because the body type and similar jersey color as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But he was taking, I understand he was taking 3rd, 4th string reps during practice. Didn't take a lot of 1st string reps. So it wasn't clear if he was even going to get a chance to play. Injuries to Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, I think also Dylan Gabriel gave him a chance to play. Some people were saying before the game that it was unfair to him because he hadn't taken a lot of 1st-team reps, but it didn't seem to matter because he was phenomenal last night. Here are his stats. He was 14 and 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 turnovers. So he's very efficient. He missed a couple throws, but he had several other throws were clearly pro throws. The first touchdown pass he made wasn't an easy throw to make. Again, the accuracy was always there. He threw the ball to several different receivers. He went through all his progressions. When the first read wasn't there, he went to the 2nd read, 3rd read, which is what you look for in a seasoned professional. He didn't look rattled at all. So he looked, he was in total command of the offense, and he was phenomenal. He scrambled when he had to. When the play wasn't there, he kept the ball. He didn't try to throw it into traffic like he has done sometimes when he was in college. But there had been pressure for him to win games with his arm with Colorado. But he didn't throw the ball into tight windows a lot. I didn't see it. And he took care of the football. He threw the ball away when he had to. He tucked in and ran when he had to. And He did exactly what I thought he would do coming out of college. He looked like a first-round draft choice, if not the number one player in the draft. Shedeur is embarrassing a lot of the NFL scouts and a lot of NFL's so-called general managers who passed on him. The problem with the NFL and a lot of sports teams is that they can make money without winning games. They can make a lot of money from the TV rights. So if they don't draft Shedeur or play Shedeur, so what? It's not like it's really going to matter because they can still make money. That's the problem with these leagues. So, but anyway, kudos to the Cleveland Browns. The other team's loss is Cleveland's gain, and they're going to sell a lot of tickets. They're going to sell a lot of jerseys. There were a lot of fans last night with Shedeur's jersey on. Cleveland Browns going to make a lot of money, and Shedeur's, I think it's on a 4-year contract, over $4 million. So he's locked in. He's getting paid, not first round money, but he's probably going to make that up in endorsement money, I'm sure. But again, he looked phenomenal last night. Looked like a starting quarterback. Was he a starter? Not, who knows, but he represented himself well. And the main thing is that he showed he can play the position at a high level. And Cleveland Browns have solved their quarterback problem. They had a quarterback problem coming in the offseason. They didn't have a quarterback with Deshaun Watson hurt, and looked like Myles Garrett was going to leave. They signed Myles Garrett. Now they signed 2 quarterbacks, one in the 3rd round and one in the 5th round. Between Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur, I'm sure they can handle the job. And we'll see where Flacco and Kenny Pickett fit in. But this is going to be a very interesting season. I'm looking forward to it. Again, Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders are going to be the most watched team in the NFL. And Cleveland's going to make a lot of money, and they should win a lot of games. So that's basically it. That's Trump and the GE. Shedeur Sanders Cookson NFL debut. Thank you for listening. Thank you.